Today, I'm going to take you weeding with me. Is that exciting or what? We're going to weed around an area of the lavender in the front yard and the rudbeckia. So, this is what I'm starting with. I put my wheelbarrow up close so I can toss in the weeds. I've got my secateurs, my chair, my water, and some gloves. That's my equipment for the day. So, so here we are starting to weed. I'm using my secateurs and not pulling some of these rough weeds out by hand. Some weeds pull up easily and some you need to cut out. I probably should dig this out because I think it was a leftover uh, weed tree, and I might do that in the fall. So after I do this big one, I think I'll bring the chair over so I can do some of it close to the lavender and it'll be easier for me. It's a good day to pull weeds. It's cool, it's got a little breeze, and it's early in the morning. So, when you do your weeding chores in your garden, do you listen to podcasts or do you listen to music or do you just drink up the atmosphere? I just sit and methodically do the job about 10 minutes and then I rest for 5 minutes. Um, I once read a book about being mindful, and they said that each task that you do, whether it's doing the dishes, doing laundry, or pulling weeds, you ought to appreciate it. So these are my two favorite lavender varieties, Munstead and Hidcote. They are perennial in my Indiana zone. Do you have a favorite lavender? We have Spanish and French and lots of different lavenders. Now, again, please tell me in the comments if you what you do while you're weeding. Do you concentrate? Talk on the phone? What do you do? Do you have a favorite thing to make the time pass a little quicker? So many thistles in my yard. The birds bring them in. I wear this blue hat a lot while I garden because it's got this protective layer for the neck. Do you have a favorite garden hat? Do you have favorite gardening equipment? Please tell me. I think sometimes my neighbors think I'm silly or a bit touched in the head when I sit out in my chair talking to myself when I really am recording a video. But they probably think, well, that's just Margaret being Margaret. And I also have been very mindful about the time. And like I put on the screen, 1 minute you're a 20-year-old college student, and the next minute you're an old woman weeding her garden. So just enjoy the time that you have. Do something fun. Now, next week, I'm going to review 3 books that I've read. All 3 books, sometimes you read a book and you love it all, and sometimes you don't like it all at all. And these 3 were good books, and I'm excited to share them with you. Which reminds me, I had a aha moment. Yesterday I was watching this movie called Mr. Skeffington with the great Betty Davis and Claude Rains. Love him. And the Claude Rains character reminded me of the main character in one of the 3 books. So I'll go over that with you. And I want you to tell me what book you're reading. Are you obsessed with anything this summer? Summer is a really good time to get caught up on your reading, in my opinion. Have you ever watched Mr. Skeffington? It's I saw it on Turner Movie Channel, but I'm sure it's such an old movie. I'm sure you can view it in other channels, other movie streams. Did you ever think to yourself that you'd be watching a woman weed her front garden on the internet? What's the wildest thing that you're addicted to on YouTube? I like to watch these guys who mow lawns. I think they're fun. My husband likes to watch Judge Stephanie Boyd down in Texas. But as you know, weeding is a never-ending gardening task. It's one that we just have to endure. Lavender is so good. It's one of my favorite herbs, flowers, fragrances. I cut it and hang it upside down to dry, put it in my home. You can use all kinds of lavender in all kinds of different ways, making soaps, making perfumes, um, putting some lavender flowers in a canister of sugar where it scents the sugar, and you can use that in your coffee, in your tea, or in your baking. Here's a picture of Munstead. As you can probably tell, I haven't weeded this bed in probably a month, maybe more. I've got areas of the garden all around our house, and sometimes I just take one little space every day, deadhead, pull up the weeds that I see, and then the rest of it I just let it go. Now I'm going to go to the oxeye daisies. I grew a lot of them this year, and I will let them self seed. But some of the seed heads I'm going to chop and get rid of because they do go all over. And I've got 3 big clumps and probably more next spring. I'll leave some to overwinter for the birds. I am not a tidy gardener, especially in the autumn when I get tired of gardening throughout the summer. I leave lots of seed heads for the birds and places to for them to hide around in the wintertime. My son, who is in his 30s, is spending the week with his aunt or 2 of his aunts, my sisters, and one of my nieces and one of my nephews. They're in London and they're going up to Edinburgh. Edinburgh has a uh, the military tattoo this week or next, and they're going to watch that. If you don't know what that is, I encourage you to research it on the internet because it's really very interesting. So they're having fun. Last night, he texted me a picture of his aunt and him. They were either beside the Thames, in the Thames in a boat or something, but it looked like they were having fun. I read a little bit about Emily Post, who was big in the 50s and 60s, and she was an etiquette expert. And she advocated that Americans and American travelers be thoughtful, informed, and respectful, guests when traveling abroad. She views travelers as being ambassadors for their country, and she wanted everyone to represent our home country in the best possible light. And in this day and age, in our particular times that we're living in, we all need that. So I think every American should, if possible, should go abroad at least once to experience different cultures than our own. In this in this bed I have a lot of thistles, a lot of crabgrass, a lot of stray long grass. In the opposite bed there's a lot of bindweed, so it just depends. Lavender's so beautiful. That clump looks pretty cleaned up. I still have a lot of weeding to do. That's yellow Rebecca in the back. And here is my barrow, the wheelbarrow full of the weeds. Now, what I'll do with this, I will snip it into smaller bits, put them into a great big bucket, put water on top of them, and then put the lid on and let them ferment for a couple weeks, and I will use that as a fertilizer. 1 cup per 1 gallon of water.